Whether you're picking out the perfect gift or stocking up on decorations for the season, I've been using Racketen to maximize my savings.
When you shop at your favorite stores through Racketen, those stores pay Racketen to send them shoppers. Racketen then passes a portion of that money back to you either through PayPal or a check, and you can earn cash back on everything from fashion and beauty to electronics, travel, and so much more. Start all your holiday shopping at Racketen.com or download the Racketen app to start saving today. Your cash back really adds up.
Have you ever wanted to know me, Monét Exchange, on a more deeper, more personal, spiritual level? Well, now it's the time to do it because my hit one-woman show, Life Be Life, and is going on tour. We're going on tour this January, and this show is hilarious, but it's also emotional. People come see this show, y'all, and they are crying, okay? From stories about rendezvous in the basement to boo-hoo crying with a man at a bar. Ooh, this show is everything. So come see it this January and go to my website, monéexchange.com, to get your tickets. I'll see you there.
So we need to say this episode was recorded a day before Luigi Mangione was arrested. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's all you want to say? You don't got nothing to say? I mean, did you hear, he was arrested in a McDonald's.
Oh yeah, he was in Pennsylvania arrested with the guns and his manifesto and
Did you hear this?
something that's supposed to come out on the 11th that ain't come out.
Did you hear this? Maybe they stopped it. Who knows? Did you hear this though? The person who reported him did not get the money
Yeah, I heard that.
because you're supposed to call the hotline and not 911.
That's crazy.
And
That's
also, it
crazy.
said you can win up to $10,000. Which, first of all, $10,000. Like, girl, those robots in the subway cost like $20,000.
Yeah, it's so shady. And
It's
so
an
that person
offensive
got
amount of money.
nothing for being a narc. No,
And he probably, I can't imagine that person's going to keep their job.
they get to keep their job. Why would they get fired?
You're going to get harassed. People are mad. People do not want
Oh.
Luigi Mangione caught. So it's going to bring that McDonald's nothing but fever.
Oh, I think you meant like McDonald's would fire him.
I think they will. Well, I don't even know the guy.
You can't fire someone like that. So I mean, they have to give him. You can't just fire someone like for no reasonable. Like that's not how that works.
Yes, you can. It's a right to work thing. You can just fire someone for any reason. You don't have to give them a reason.
No, it's a state by state. In New York State, you can. In New York
It's not
State,
New York.
that is the thing. It's a state by state thing.
Let's see. It's Pennsylvania. How do you spell Pennsylvania? It's Pennsylvania.
M-I, crooked I, humpback I.
Is Pennsylvania a right to work state? BD. No, it's not a right to work state.
So yeah, so you can't do that.
Right to work laws. It has the right to work laws though. But you have to be in a union. You have to guarantee that union membership and financial support are voluntary. Pennsylvania employment is at will, which means the employee can be dismissed at any time. So yeah, you can be dismissed. You can be dismissed at any time. So yeah, and they don't have to give you a reason.
Okay, wait. So now we're cutting this. We're just putting that in front of the Luigi episode.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to add anything else, I mean, a lot has happened since then. Also, there's a photo of Luigi Mangione with his pants soiled that the police took a photo of. And I also noticed that a lot of the footage they have of him coming out of the police car, the sound is silenced. And I suspect it's because people are actually cheering for Luigi, and they don't want you to know that.
Wait, he peed himself?
Yeah, the police took a photo of him with his pants soiled and posted it on the internet or leaked it.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And of course, there's been a lot of support because Luigi is very handsome. He is, you know what? Well, it's too late now, but my Luigi shirt came in. It might be too much to show. Should I show it to you?
No, you can show it.
All right, let's do a jump cut. Hold on. Is this too much to wear in public?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Why?
I think it's a lot.
You never had a picture with that's a shirt that they sold at Walmart of me holding a gun.
Of you holding a gun?
At Target.
Of you? Oh, your little from the water gun thing or the thing from your shoe.
Yeah, it was me holding the gun.
Yeah, but I mean, yours is not depicting a murdering of someone.
It was I murdered the competition. Kimchi found dead. Naomi found dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Derek Barry found dead.
Wow. Dax exclamation point.
Yeah. Robbie Turner's Uber driver found dead. Actually, not.
I can't.
Actually, not. He didn't even exist. Actually, didn't even exist. So listen, so just bear in mind that all this was recorded the day before Luigi Mangione was arrested. So just as you listen, please keep that in mind.
Hello,
hey guys,
everyone.
Oh, sorry. Ooh. Well, I guess Monét got something to tell you. Go, Monét. What do you guys say is so important?
Well, y'all, listen. I personally, I don't know about Bob. Let me speak for me. I need y'all to go to Sibling Rivalry where you listen to your Apple Podcasts and give us a rating, 5 stars, and leave a comment. Just say like, "Yo, my nigga, this is the best show I ever heard." If you black, no. If you white, don't you dare type that shit. If you so it's like, "Yo,"
or if you light skin, like they said like the cop said, if you light skin.
This is literally the best podcast ever. Just leave us a little review. Tell us how much you love the show, and it helps us out. Also on Spotify and do the Apple too, and Google Play, I guess. I mean, I'll listen to Google Play podcast, but sure, do it there too.
Yeah, wherever you listen to your podcast, please do that for us. It helps us out so much. And hey guys, Watchery will be back. That is right, Sibling Watchery. We're going to be reviewing season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and we have an episode coming out right here on our podcast and behind the scenes. If you want to hear us our thoughts on Untucked, and you know Untucked is, if you're not watching Untucked, you're only getting
half the story.
Exactly. And you want our whole story. So go to our Patreon. It is exclusive on the Patreon. Go to siblingrivalry.com/support or go to Google and type in Sibling Rivalry Patreon. And last but not least, y'all, I want to be a New York Times, last but not least for me, I want to be a New York Times bestseller. Please buy my book. I am so proud of this book. It's called Harriet Tubman Live in Concert. It's a book about Harriet Tubman coming back to life, and she's putting pen to paper and writing a brilliant hip hop album to continue her work as an abolitionist. I want to be a New York Times bestseller. I deserve this. And honestly, you will love this book. Publishers Weekly has reviewed it. They said it is a knockout, is what they said. My first time at the park. You can go to readthedragqueen.com right now to buy the book.
And also, y'all, your girl is going on tour in January. I am doing my show, Life Be Life, and coming to a theater near you. I'm coming all across the states to about 15 cities. And if you want to see me do the show, I have great reviews from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, from Playbill.com, Broadway World. They all love the show, and you will too. Storytelling, laughing, crying. It was better than Cats, I swear. No, for real. Come see me on the road at MonetExchange.com. Go to MonetExchange.com to get your tickets, and I'll see you in the theater.
But to be fair, everything was better than Cats. That movie was horrible. Anyway, you want to do a podcast?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Other day, me and Monet were watching Wicked. I didn't know this. One of Monet's dreams is to be like a James Earl Jonesy, Morgan Freeman, Jane Lynch voiceover type.
Jane Lynch is a voiceover person, like Jane Lynch from Glee?
Yeah, so Jane Lynch's big break was, James Earl Jones used to do all the voiceovers for the Army. But around Desert Storm, they really wanted more women to join the Army, because there were not enough women in the Army. They just wanted more women. They were like, we need a feminine voice. And Jane Lynch was like, that was the gig that changed my life. That was the first gig I had where I was like, I've been set since this gig. Jane Lynch was the Army recruitment voice for women in the late 80s, early 90s.
Famously, voice acting work, like voiceover work, does not pay. It does not always pay that well. Like when you do like a voiceover thing, it's not always as lucrative as other things. Like this is standard. Everyone knows this. So how much voiceover work was she doing for the Army that she was like, this set me up for the rest of my life? I didn't have to do anything else.
I mean, I reckon enough. And I mean, it probably pays good money because it's the government. And it was the Army. Whoa. And they have money.
Also, why do you know that? Why do you know that the government needed more people for Desert Storm? You be doing random weird shit. Well, not sorry, not weird.
I only know because of the interview that I saw. I was in a Jane Lynch YouTube spiral, and she was talking about how she's talking about this gig, like the gig that set her up for life, where she has not had to worry since that gig.
Well, can I get one of them?
Do you think you'd want a career as one of those spokespeople, like a Flo or Jake from State Farm?
My two biggest, okay, these are my biggest dreams. Something that I always wanted. I would love a flow from progressive kind of thing. Would love that. Or I would love to host a game show. Like I watch every episode of Chopped. I would love to be Ted, the host of Chopped. They're like 51 seasons in, and he does this show. I would love to like host a game show, like fucking what Michael Strahan does for Pyramid or fucking Steve Harvey Family Feud. I would love to host a game show. I just love games. I would love to host. It's just all about personality and being able to read.
Yeah,
I would love to.
that sounds. I think you'd be really good at it, and you're great with making people. You host game. You literally host game nights at your house for at cost. So
yeah,
I'm sure if you were getting paid for it, it'd be really great.
Is there like a TV version of Anomia we could make that would be like good for like TV? You know what I mean?
Let's make one ourselves and put it up on Patreon and let's say it out loud and never actually do it. That'd be fun. Right?
Because maybe we can make a game, the new game show that's gonna be on network television.
Can I tell you that me and Monét fully made a game? We have every single we only thing we don't have is the cards design, like the actual graphic. We don't have a graphic design, but Monét and I sat down until like 5 a.m. in the Alps.
In a manic state.
Not the Alps. Where was it at? The Naples? No, where's that place? The Aspen. In Aspen. But we sat down. I mean, literally manic. Like, guys, we have the whole thing. And honestly, this game is fun. Maybe you should do. I think that you should host a show where you play games. Like, you should host a Monét's game night.
But not all games are friendly for TV, though. We have to figure out ones that work, you know?
Yeah, you have to figure it out. But you could do that. You could figure that out. You know what I mean? You're very smart. And it could be a House of Rivalry. We need to call ourselves House of Rivalry. I'm trying to push this lately.
House of Rivalry?
Yeah. I mean, right now, we're low-key kind of the only two members of House of Rivalry, kind of.
Do we need to get some more drag children, some interns up in here? Tell Alfredo to move his ass, but also Alfredo will be like, no, I'm not doing it.
Girl, he has a dog.
Alfredo will be like,
has a dog. He can't do drag.
Every year consistently, we're on Alfredo's top podcast he listens to. So Alfredo is probably listening to this right now. Hi, Free.
Probably. Well, Free's coming to LA.
I know. I want to hang out with him.
Well, you can come. I'm going to Disney for the first time ever. I've never been to a Disney park in my life.
When y'all going? Can I come?
Yeah, of course.
What day? What for my feet? I don't know. I have to see. I don't know if I'll be able to go.
I'll put you in a wheelchair.
Like soon?
Yeah, soon. I'll put you around in a wheelchair. Me and Free will take them. Me and Free are both big ladies. We'll push you around.
Bob, you would not want to push me around in a wheelchair all day.
I would push you in a wheelchair. Me and Free could take turns.
Bob, I am heavy. Around Disney?
We'll take turns. And they probably have, and I bet $1 they have motorized scooters. I bet they have them. Also, you can rent one. You can rent a motorized scooter for a day.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm actually pushing my mom around. My mother is much smaller than you.
Girl.
But I used to push my mom around in a wheelchair all the time.
Okay, imagine your mom times that by 5. That's when you're pushing around to the theme park all day, girl.
5, maybe 3. But also my mother was very small, to be fair.
Yeah.
But me and Free could push you around. But also, I bet they have motorized scooters. It would be very strange if they didn't have. If Piggly Wiggly has motorized scooters, they probably have them at Disney World.
I remember when I was on when I went to South Carolina for the first time for the Spoleto Festival in high school.
That, Jacob? Does Disney have motorized scooters?
For the Spoleto Music Festival in college, and going down to South Carolina for the first time, there were 2 things I remember about that going down. It was my first time in the South. Well, besides that one year I lived in Atlanta, but I was in high school. Anyway, as an adult, I mean in elementary school. Going to, have you ever eaten at the Kickin' Chicken? It's a chain only in South, I don't know if you've ever been to South Carolina. It's a chain of a restaurant only in South Carolina called the Kickin' Chicken. Have you ever eaten this food? The chicken there is so fucking good, and they make this goddamn ranch sauce that has shredded Parmesan in it, but like not like the grated one, like with like the little strips. Oh my God, yeah, I would. Okay, I want to go.
Read it, Jacob? I can't. It's too small. Can you read it out loud, Jacob?
It's yes, they do have it, and they are a rental price per day, $15 for manual, $60 for the electric one. So Bob, can you rent it for me?
You can afford it. You can
Okay,
swing
so
it.
I would love to go with y'all. I would really be down to go. So the Kickin' Chicken, they have this amazing ranch,
I
a
don't think they
seasoned
should be
ranch with
renting.
like,
They should just give them out.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine if you got to Walmart and they were like $5. Bitch, give me this motherfucking wheelchair. Give me this motherfucking motorized scooter. Like, it seems
Or working
ableist to
into,
make you rent a motorized scooter. And the reason I'm saying is
I'm
because,
trying
like,
to think.
obviously people can, like, the motorized scooters are not necessarily people in wheelchairs, it's people with mobility issues, because you're walking a lot, you're standing a lot. So whereas the amount of walking you would normally do in your house in Walmart, that's like times 10. At Disney, it's times 100. They should not be renting them out. They should give them out, in my opinion.
Well, it's probably to people who don't really need it. Because then, if they were just free, people who probably didn't really need it would probably ask for it all the time. So when you're having people who don't really have mobility issues because they don't want to walk on a theme park all day, they're going to be taking them from people who do have mobility issues. So I think it's probably
Then
to
have a lot of them.
deter
Then
people from
have a
doing it.
lot of them. Like, people at Walmart aren't taking wheelchairs. I mean, I'm sure there are, but
I
typically speaking,
have.
well, you fucking take the handicap seat, which everyone dragged you for.
When I was a little kid going to, or not a little kid, and like a bummy fucking annoying ass high school kid, I would go to the Key Food or the Sea Town and ride around in the little motorized thing. Like, I would absolutely do that.
You know, I used to always do it at Walmart all the time. Go to the blood pressure check thing
Yes.
every time.
Yeah.
And panic. Ah! I'm trapped. Every time.
Wait, it was a ranch, and was it? Oh, seeing and going to a Piggly Wiggly for the first time. Again, as a northerner, I thought it was just, I'd never seen a Piggly Wiggly. I thought it was just something they made up in movies. Going to a Piggly Wiggly for the first time was such an interesting experience. It is like a supermarket, but it's like a country ass supermarket. It's fucking wild.
It's a grocery store. It's a grocery store, not a supermarket.
What's the difference between a supermarket and a grocery store?
Well, Walmart is a supermarket, so they have like televisions and like Walmart, you can buy not just there's a grocery store attached to like a clothing store, attached to an electronic store, attached to a bank, attached to a nail salon, attached to a barbershop, attached to a gas station, attached to an eye doctor. That's a supermarket. Piggly Wiggly is just a grocery
because
store.
Pathmark was a chain of supermarket in New York. Doesn't have all that. It's just, you can't buy TVs, you can't buy grills. It's just food.
Is that a supermarket, man?
I mean, they call it a supermarket.
Jacob, what's the difference between a supermarket and a grocery store? And can you read it? Because I'm too far from the screen.
Okay,
I'm not wearing my glasses. Because I feel like Kmart.
The main difference between a grocery store and a supermarket is the selection of items available.
This is what I just
Grocery
said.
stores focus on food and drinks with a small selection of household items. They typically carry 10,000 to 15,000 stock keeping units. Oh, is that what SKUs stands for? Did you know that?
No.
Stock keeping units. Also, do you know what troll is from? Like when you say an internet troll?
Like little monsters? Wait, what?
No, like an internet troll. Do you know what troll is from?
I like someone who's like trolling on the internet. No, what's it from? I thought they're like little monster. They're annoying people.
No, they're uncontrollable.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Yeah. And in a supermarket,
where'd you hear that?
I heard it on The View.
Sister, I have doubt.
What the fuck is this? Where is that from, Sister? I have doubt.
It's from Doubt. It's Meryl Streep's big line. I mean, spoiler alert. But it's Meryl. You find out that Meryl Streep is actually a nun who doesn't really believe in God. And at the very end, she's like, "Sister, I have doubt."
And then a supermarket have a larger selection of items, including food, household goods, clothing, and pharmacy items. They have long aisles, sprawling floor plans. So yeah, I guess if you have a grocery store doesn't have like the
electronics, the
like
clothes, the pharmacy, all that stuff.
Well, I guess
so I don't think Pathmark
is
a super. I don't think Pathmark is a supermarket.
Has a pharmacy in it. It has a pharmacy in it. Yeah. So yeah.
You have a favorite grocery store?
Ooh, for the grocery store, I guess in
Yeah.
LA it will be Ralph's. In New York, it will be Seatown. Seatown because they got the Utz chips. Now, I don't know why Utz is not widely available, but Utz chips are the best chips. And I love an Utz
Utz is a
chip.
Northeast thing for sure. Utz is a Northeast thing down.
Oh, I love Utz.
I in Georgia, my favorite grocery store was Kroger, which I don't think Kroger exists anymore, or at least the one in Clayton County doesn't exist anymore.
I
There's
love
probably still
Kroger.
Kroger somewhere, but there was the one that I used to go to was closed. I also like Ingles, but Kroger was great. In LA, I like Ralph's, which is not high end, but I just think Ralph's is such an is. I just like that. I like Ralph's. I really like that grocery store.
I do you know, bitch, the fried chicken at Ralph's. Nobody's touching the fried chicken than Ralph's, bitch. I don't care where you can go to Roscoe's. The fried chicken at Ralph's is so good. It's very good.
I don't know. In the South, the Walmarts have pretty good fried chicken as far as grocery store fried chicken goes.
Well,
Do you have a favorite
I can see
grocery
that.
store
It's in
rotisserie
the
chicken?
South. What happened?
Do you have a favorite grocery store rotisserie chicken?
My rotisserie chicken, for some reason, I want that to feel a little more organic, so I like to go with Whole Foods for my rotisserie chicken.
To be honest, they all kind of taste the same. Rotisserie chicken's kind of like, even when they're like, this was lemon pepper, I'm like, is it? Is it lemon pepper?
Well,
and sometimes I'll buy a whole rotisserie chicken and be like, I'm about to eat this. And I'm like, yo, that's a lot of food.
I was just about to say that, Bob. I don't know what I would never, because a whole chicken has 2 breasts, 2 thighs, 2 drumsticks, 2 wings. I will eat a whole rotisserie chicken, but I would never buy 8 pieces of chicken from Popeyes or KFC and eat it.
To be clear, a chicken doesn't have 2 breasts. Like it's a chicken breast. They're not like individual titties. It is a chicken breast.
But a whole chicken has 2.
No, baby. When you buy a chicken breast, that's the whole breast. If you get 1 chicken breast, that's the whole breast.
Bob, no. If you take a rotisserie chicken and you cut it in half, you get 2 breasts. That's how it works.
Is that how that works?
Yes. I've done it several times. I'll get a whole chicken, I'll cut it in half, and you get 2 breasts.
What in the St. Lucia is...
What?
What in the St. Lucia? You go to the yard, grab a chicken, pluck it, rip it in half, and feed it to what's your cat? Your dog's name? That dog that ate your cat. What's her name? Egyptian. What's her name? Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
What kind of dog was Cleopatra? In fact, tell me after the break. Tell me after the break.
Okay. I don't know what breed. I think Cleopatra was a mutt. I couldn't tell you what breed she was. It was like a mix of things. St. Lucia is one of those countries. There's a lot of dogs. Just dogs running around all the time, everywhere.
I feel like you villainized Cleopatra, and I feel like she's a victim in this too. Even though she ate your cat, she also was a victim in this too.
She's a victim by eating someone's cat, but she's a victim. I victimized. I just told you the story. You victimized her.
No, she did what dogs do. And y'all act like she was crazy. They attack things. Yeah, she did what dogs do.
Okay,
so
they attack things?
When a bear attacks a person in the woods, the bear just doing what bears do.
Okay, a bear is a wild animal. This is a domesticated dog. Not a wild animal in the woods.
Was she domesticated?
It wasn't my dog. It was Mary's dog.
Honestly, Cleopatra's an icon. We stand with Cleopatra. We were talking earlier about you being a spokesperson for insurance companies, but I don't think you want to be in that business.
Why?
Because, baby, working for insurance companies is not the tea right now. You do not want to go public if you are a CEO or a high up at any insurance company, but you might not want to tell them you work at the call center.
Yeah. I mean, no one is showing up at Flo's house and popping 6 shots in her back.
So, as you all know, it is massive news this week. A CEO for United Healthcare was murdered in cold blood in daylight Brian Thompson there is footage of him walking up to his hotel for his conference. A man walks up behind him, a Jake Gyllenhaal lookalike, allegedly walks up behind him, pulls out a pistol with a silence. That shit is scary. Seeing someone hold a pistol is scary. When there's a silencer on, I'm like, you are literally an assassin.
Bitch, 007.
He fucking he pulled it out, shot him in the back. He went to the ground. He shot him in the leg, and then he shot a third bullet, but it didn't hit him. And then he just fucking walked away, got on the bike,
also
rode to the park.
How good of a hitman you are if you shoot and you miss? When the target is down.
He didn't miss, bitch. He's dead. He did not miss.
No, the third one, the last one he shot, he fired and missed.
Well, I feel like, I don't know if he missed, but I feel like he had to get those 3 bullets out because they had messages written on them.
Defend, deny, denounce,
Depose.
Yeah, it's a pretty, and like, but the thing about that is like I guess when you kill someone like that, you're doing it more so for the message than to actually affect change, because when you kill that person, the next person in line or the next whoever is coming up, what?
Well, not necessarily. So Blue Cross Blue Shield released a policy that would restrict anesthesia use. Anesthesia, not Anastasia.
Mm-hmm.
Anesthesia use. Baby.
Yeah.
Once they announced that, people found the CEO and was like, Kim, you want to do that, Kim? Kim, are you sure? Kim, I just want to ask again, are you sure that's the stance you want to take? Baby, they were like, we were just kidding. Y'all can have all the anesthesia you want. That was a joke we told. Early April Fools. We were kidding. You can have anesthesia now. So does it affect change?
Which is egregious. What I was talking about is that they were passing this rule that, like, let's say you had to have brain surgery and your surgery was 6 hours, but the limit of anesthesia you could have was only 4 hours. At 4 hours, they would cut your anesthesia off. And so I guess what were you supposed to do for the other 2 hours?
But you start paying after a certain hour. Like after a certain hour, you start paying.
Well, when I say cut it off, like, yes, unless you sign off on paying, like in theory, which I don't think legally they could do, like you kind of like have to pay for more, because it seems crazy that you could opt to not pay for it, then they just stop anesthesia and you just start feeling like that sounds crazy. So
I don't think the Hippocratic Oath would allow a doctor to. Jacob, can you Google how much anesthesia costs? I don't think the Hippocratic Oath allows doctors to do that. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, and that shit is expensive. Getting general anesthesia added to your surgery, because I had a few surgeries at this point, bitch, it'd be like $4,000 more. Like anesthesia is expensive. That shit is fucking expensive.
$300
to $500 per hour.
Is anesthesia? Wait, I'm a little confused. Because you were awake, so you weren't under anesthesia, were you?
I was under local anesthesia, so I didn't pay for it for my feet.
But so you were, in general, anesthesia makes you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And local anesthesia, you're awake for that.
And that local is always a little bit more expensive.
So would Novocaine be considered a local anesthesia? Can you Google that, Jacob?
I think so.
Because I've had a lot of dental work done, and I've never. Well, that's not true. I was asleep for my wisdom teeth. Everything else, I've been looking Dr. Will just in his eyes, making direct eye contact while he rips my gums to shreds, looking him dead in his eyes, like eye to eye contact with a man who is cutting my gums up, zipping them, filing my teeth down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Novocaine. Yeah, I think Novocaine is local. I think it would count as local because
it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying local anesthesia is more expensive?
You're not actually on Novocaine. It's actually lidocaine. They don't really use Novocaine anymore. Novocaine is really weak, so it's actually lidocaine. Is
the laughing gas?
That's general. No, I didn't get laughing gas
because
I'm sober.
Gas.
I've never used it. I've never used it. I don't
but I want to. Doesn't that seem fun?
No, it seems scary to me. It sounds like a relapse, and I don't want to do it.
I see. There are three different types. There's also regional. There's local, which is like right at the thing, and then regional, which is like an epidural that is like half of your body, like a full region of your body, and
It's
that's
like
the most
drag, local
expensive.
drag, regional drag.
Oh, actually, no, that's about 200 to 400. So yeah, general fully going under is the most expensive, 300 to 500.
And allegedly, I don't know if this is true. Allegedly, like that's what like some celebrities do when they're getting like big tattoo pieces. They just go into general, so they don't have to like feel
Yeah,
the
I've seen
pain.
someone do that, but they were saying that you shouldn't be doing that. I saw a thing on I'm on Tattoo Reddit, and I don't know how many I'm on Tattoo Reddit because I don't. I mean, I have some tattoos, but I haven't had a tattoo in like 4 years now. Maybe I don't know, maybe not that long. But anyway, that's the point. The point is, there was some guy who got his entire back done and he went under general for it. And they were like, you should not do this. Like, there's a reason why your body stopped. There's a reason why tattoo artists stop doing tattoos at a certain point. It's not just because it hurts. It's also because like your body needs to heal. Your body can't heal too much. It will shock you. Your body will be shocked trying to heal this giant back piece.
That happened to that one artist. I don't know her name, but she got her whole leg. She got like her whole leg from like her ankle up all the way to her hip. And she had to like end up going to the hospital because her body went into shock. It was too much.
But I mean, so the public reaction to this assassination has been, honestly, in my opinion, quite justified. Like, yeah, someone died. That's very sad. Someone's dead. That is very, very sad. But do you know how many people have died because of the actions of this healthcare company? Let me tell you right now. I am still, y'all, my house burned down on January 10th. As of today, it is December 8th. I am still fighting my insurance company. This is no one died in this house fire. You know what I mean? No one died in this house fire. These insurance companies do not give a fuck about, I'm telling you, they don't care if you have lost everything. When my family lost everything, they made me basically beg, plead, do homework, go, like, the whole thing about insurance. I'm like, the point is, I was paying insurance on the off chance that something would happen in my home, on the off chance, or that I would need something fixed around my home. And I did my side, and I wasn't allowed to miss one payment, by the way. And I did not miss one payment. And if I would have, y'all would have came down on me. I would have lost my coverage. And then something did happen, and y'all acted like I was asking for something that you did not agree to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, it is very sad that this person died, but look at how many people have died because of what these insurance companies are doing. And not just dying, but people who are like living in extreme debt. Someone on the line was like, someone lost their father, someone lost a husband, someone lost an uncle. Yes, there's probably been someone else who lost all those things because of an insurance company. Literally, one person lost a father, an uncle, a son, a cousin, because of all the stuff these insurance companies are doing. Lost their home. Did you know 60% of bankruptcies are because of medical bills? Over 60% of bankruptcies in America are because of medical bills.
Yeah, but I do think that these insurance companies are highly corrupt. I think that medical debt is fucking up a lot of people's lives in the country. But killing a CEO of a medical company that's fixing a symptom and not the problem. Like the problem is our government and how we have allowed these people and these companies to operate this way. How we have allowed them to mark up pharmaceuticals and drugs exponentially in a way that it should not be. So I don't think killing these CEOs is the problem, is the solution. The problem is electing people and try to fix our government so that they tackle these problems. Like and again, I don't know what level of our government tackles that. I think that's more of a federal. I don't know if that's the I don't know who is responsible for that, but these people, they lobby in our government and they buy these politicians so that they pass legislation and laws so they can keep operating in this lawless way. And if we just start this precedent where we're murdering CEOs of these companies, we're ushering an era of like lawlessness and chaos in our society. And I don't think that's a solution to fix the problem.
To be clear, I did not say that killing the CEOs is justified. I said the reaction to the murder is justified. I think that people's reaction being like, well, a sympathy is out of network.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thoughts and
I saw
thoughts
that
and
messaging.
deductibles. Like I think that I did not say that the killing is the way to go, but I think that the reaction to it is, in my opinion, it's quite justified because it's not justified the way that they are treating their clients, the way they're treating the insured, the way they're treating people who are paying. Health insurance is so expensive, and by the way, you have to have it. If
Yeah.
you don't have insurance, you will be charged for not having insurance.
Mhm.
And there's only like a month and a half, 2 months where you can sign up for it. So if you don't sign up for it in this little chunk of time, you are now uninsured and you have to pay a fee for being uninsured. And then you have to pay, heaven forbid you have to do anything that should not be that expensive. You know what I mean? Heaven forbid you get a flu, you break a leg, you have to go to the doctor, you get pregnant. That shit is expensive. They are ruining these lives. So I'm not saying that everyone should be out there, but I'm saying like, why does it? I don't think it's fair that not. I don't think it's fair that people are like, oh my god, their lives. Did nobody care about their lives? And they were happening.
Yeah, I don't really have reverence for dead folk. Like, I'm not one of these people. Like, if
Never speak ill of the dead.
yeah, I'm not one of those. So in that regard, I don't care. But I think that same energy needs to be given to our fucking politicians because they are the ones letting this behavior happen. Like, and again, I don't know how we affect change. Like we have been complaining about these lobbies, and for since I've been conscious of politics in my adult life, we've been talking about it, and there seems to be no change. Like there's no politician. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard a lot of talk from like super, 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 super progressive people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren at some point talking about tackling these pharmaceuticals and these insurance companies. And now we're electing Dr. Oz to be he is on the docket to be the minister or whatever the fuck his title is, that he's handling Medicaid and Medicare. And Trump wants to get rid of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. And again, but I don't really see anyone really like having a platform of talking about what you're talking about now to manage these health insurance companies, to make
Well, I
them
think that now,
for the
I think
people.
the conversation now is bigger than it's ever been. And I'm not saying go out and kill CEOs. That's not what I'm advocating for. But someone did do it. And now look how big this conversation is. In fact, I'll tell you more of my thoughts when I come back.
The holidays are here, and we all know how quickly shopping can add up. Whether you're picking out the perfect gift or stocking up on decorations for the season, that's why I've been using Racketen to maximize my savings. For example, I recently snagged some amazing deals on gifts from Macy's and Best Buy, and I earned cash back on everything. Here's why Racketen is a must-have this holiday season. You can stack holiday sales and deals on top of cash back to save even more at over 3,500 stores. Yes. During the holidays, some stores are offering up to 15% cash back. Yes, y'all, 15% at your favorite brands like Nike, Sephora, Walmart.
That is a lot of money. Here's how it works. When you shop at your favorite stores through Racketen, those stores pay Racketen to send them shoppers. Racketen then passes a portion of that money back to you either through PayPal or a check, and you can earn cash back on everything from fashion and beauty to electronics, travel, and so much more. And Racketen doesn't just stop at cash back. They also find the best deals, sales, and coupons for you. Do you like to coupon? I know some of y'all like to coupon. Save you time and they save you money. Plus, membership is free. I love free stuff, and signing up is super easy. So join the 17 million members who are already saving. Start all your holiday shopping at Racketen.com or download the Racketen app to start saving today. Your cash back really adds up. PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank me. Imagine earning points on rent. You got to pay it every month. Yes, your rent. And using those points toward things like flights, hotels, fitness classes, or even your next rent payment. With Built, that's now a reality. And you don't even have to check with your landlord to get started. Let me break it down for you right now. There's no cost to join. And as a Built member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and your everyday spending. Those Built points can be transferred to over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties worldwide. Or you can redeem them toward a future rent payment or exclusive experience only available to Built members.
One of my favorite things about Built is how easy it is to make your biggest monthly expenses, like your rent, work for you. Whether you're dreaming of a warm getaway or planning your next move, those points can really add on up. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you've already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/rivalry. That's joinbilt.com/rivalry. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/rivalry to start earning points on your rent payments today.
I have never seen an insurance company roll back an unpopular policy like Blue Cross Blue Shield did. Ever.
Yeah.
It probably has. I'm not saying it hasn't happened.
Maybe it has. I'm not conscious of it. If it has happened, I don't know. But yeah.
But that is swift, baby. It was the public outcry was swift. How fast they were like, "You sure you want to do that, Kim? You sure? I'm gonna give you one more chance to rethink your position here, Kim." And she rethought it. And also, first of all, I do not think the cops are looking for him because cops are blue collar workers.
You don't think?
No.
You don't think the cops are looking for this person.
New York City is the most filmed. There is practically nowhere you can go in New York City without being filmed. Apparently, except for Central Park. Apparently. But at some point, you got to leave Central Park. Baby, they can track you no matter where you are. You are always being filmed at Central Park. There's only one footage from one angle with no sound. And then we have a picture of him.
They put out another one like earlier today of him like a taxi cab without his with the mask off and everything.
I saw nothing. Not playing. And also when they posted his face, people have been fawning over him because he's quite handsome. He kind of looks like Jake Gyllenhaal apparently. But online,
looks like Rose.
When you see the comments, people are like, "Oh my God, this is just a blank picture. Why did they post a blank picture with nothing on it?" Everyone's like, I didn't see nothing. And cops are blue collar workers. They don't make that much fucking money. Cops aren't the elite. Cops aren't the wealthy. I honestly don't think they're looking like they're not they're not doing that. He didn't escape through the backwoods of Shreveport, Louisiana, or Baton Rouge, or Andalusia, Alabama. He was in New York City. He was basically filmed every second until he went to Central Park, and probably a few seconds in Central Park, and then he was being filmed when he got out of Central Park. You know what I mean? But they have this man's face, and no one's like, and everyone's like, I ain't never, not a single. They have his face, and not a single person has come forward. Everyone's like, I have never seen this man in my life. Would you believe this man knows no people? No one knows him. No one, not a single person in the world. He don't have no family. He don't have children. He don't have a wife. He don't have parents. He didn't go to school. No one knows this man because they're not looking for him. Because I think they sympathize with the people, in my humble opinion.
And of course, this no interaction in the world in America would be short of racism, because the first early reports talking about he looked like a light skinned man, blah 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 blah, basically saying that he's a person of color. I'm like, no. Why do you have to be a person? Why do you be light skinned? This and that.
I think that if I had to guess, I think that Jacob, do you know? I mean, you're dating me, so you probably know, but like, do you know that light skin is not a term that people use for white people?
Yeah.
Did you know that before we were dating?
What's the question?
Like,
yes.
I don't think that cop was insinuating that he was black. I don't know that. Do white people know that light skin is not a term used for people who aren't black? Like, light skin is a term
if you're talking about a white person, you would say, oh no, she's really pale.
Yeah, I don't think white people use light skin.
I thought, when I heard light skin, I was like, light skin? He's not light skin. He's white, but maybe he was saying like he's not brown, he's not black. He is of a pale. He's either like a pale Asian or a pale white person or white. Like, I think he was saying like he's not brown.
No, I think they were saying. I think when they said he was light skinned, they were meaning he looked. They were saying he looks like a light skinned black person.
I don't think they were, because there was a picture of him, and everyone's like, "This man, he's not black." No one thinks this man is black. There has not been a single angle. I in my humble opinion, I don't think that this. No, but he was white in the picture when he raised the gun. He was white there too. No one's ever thought. I don't think anyone has ever thought this man was black. Now, I'm not defending the cops, but I don't think this cop knows what light skin means because he's light skinned.
I think if you are a cop living in New York City with all these people of color, you know what light skin means. You know light skin means black person. If this is a cop in Montana,
you know that because you're black.
But living in New York City, if this was a cop in Montana, then maybe I'll believe that. But bitch, you are a cop from New York City. You know light skin mean black.
I mean, I don't know what he meant, but everyone knows he's not black. No one has ever thought he was black. There has never been a moment in this conversation. But even before his face came out, no one ever thought he was black. Ever. This has never been part of the conversation.
And also, Bob, it wasn't just one cop. One cop doesn't make the call to do this. A system of people saw this thing and they said, oh yeah, light skin. I don't think there's no way in whatever police department or whatever, that it went through so many eyes and ears and they didn't know that light skin means black. Like light skin doesn't
again, I don't know what they meant, but I don't think anyone thinks this man is black. I don't think anyone has ever thought this man was black, and he's not black. And everyone knows that.
Try to pass
they had a picture of a white man talking about some light skin. What is that? What could that possibly? If you have a picture of a white man and you're like light skin, why would anyone think it was a black person?
That he's black or mixed or saying that this person has black in them? That's why they're light skinned.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for their thought. But what I'm saying is everyone knows he's not black. Literally everyone knows that. No one thinks this man is black, and he's not black. So also, black people don't be assassins like that. That's not a black thing.
There was that guy in
the Seattle
DC
guy, the DC guy.
DC guy, yeah.
The DC sniper. There were two of them, actually.
The DC sniper. There was a movie about the DC sniper. I heard it was good.
I've not seen
America,
it.
America is crazy. This country, we be out here murdering presidents, assassinating presidents all the time.
Not all the time. I think our country probably assassinates world leaders less than a lot of other countries.
But at the turn of the century, though, we was assassinating niggas left, right, and center.
Like, when was our last presidential assassination?
And we had like
JFK?
4 or 5 of them. Yeah, JFK. But before that, they were like
Abraham
2.
Lincoln.
There were 3 before him. No, there were 2
Lincoln.
in the middle of Lincoln and Kennedy. There were like 2 or 3 in there, girl.
Jake, who were all the assassinated presidents? Lincoln, JFK. Who else been assassinated? President-wise.
Look it up. Andy was
okay. 4 sitting presidents have been assassinated. Abraham Lincoln in 1865, James A. Garfield in 1881, William McKinley in 1901, and John F. Kennedy in 1963.
Yeah, there were 2 between them.
But almost every president has had assassination attempts. Did you know that?
I believe it.
I was looking into this video about the security they have. They have like a thing in the presidential motorcade that disables detonation devices. Like you cannot detonate a bomb underneath the president's car. It's like literally impossible.
Like, is it like it sends out some radio frequency that stops it or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a wireless jammer. I mean, they haven't released the specifics of it. They try to keep it light so you don't know. But yes.
Wow.
Yeah. You literally cannot detonate a bomb anywhere around the president because of some technology they have that will stop the communication or the signal, or Bluetooth or whatever the fuck people are using these days. I don't know what bomb people are using these days, but you literally cannot do it. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, no, I mean, in 2024, 2025, almost, honestly, like, I believe that, you know what I mean? Like, I've been saying, like, shit be going down. I'm like, how do we not have more, like, technology for shit like that? Oh my God, look at the door for Obama's car. It's like an armored car. It's like a fucking Escalade.
The doors are completely bulletproof. You also have no clue what car the president's in. There are several cars. They're all identical. You don't know which one the president's in. Allegedly, sometimes the president isn't even in the motorcade.
Would you ever want to live like? Would you ever want to live like that?
No, Monét. I don't even want to be more famous than I am right now. This is a lot for me. I've been around a few very famous people, and that is not the lifestyle for me. I know you said you want to be around the famous. I would never want that in a million years. It's too much.
Well, I think it's complicated. The level of for the things that I want to do, I think it requires more fame, right? If I want like my music, more people to hear my music, and my music to be bigger, it just requires that. Like more ears on it means more fame, and more eyes on it means more fame. Like there's just a symptom of the thing that I want to happen.
Well, not necessarily. There are some people who can just like walk around. Like I think Bob Odenkirk could probably just walk around the world
I don't know who
and
that
be
even
fine.
is.
Bob Odenkirk is on. He's the star of Better Call Saul. He's a very famous actor. Um, I bet that. I bet that. Someone like. Let me think of a
I
celebrity who
mean,
could
He's
probably
from
walk.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was. But his big thing is Better Call Saul. But he's a pretty big actor though. I bet
I don't
someone
know this man.
I've seen Cheryl Underwood walking around the airport, just walking around by herself. I ran into her actually one time. She's like, hey, just walking around.
Shell Underwood.
She's more famous than I am.
But I'm talking
Um,
about. I feel like yes, it happens with actors. I feel like it's more like a music thing, right? Like I think like music, because I think music is a little more far-reaching. Because if you are a big artist, you can be like people who are like super big like famous actors. Like are like is Meryl Streep as popular in Asia and Europe as she's in America? I don't know, but I know, I don't know, fucking SZA is huge in South America and in Europe and in Asia. Rihanna, Beyonce, like Carrie Underwood. I think she's also super huge in Europe.
if I can
But
sell tickets in
acting
South
doesn't translate.
America, I think Meryl Streep is famous in South America. If I can sell out of theater in South America, I think Meryl Streep is probably famous in South America.
I'm not saying that she's
Probably.
not. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying. My point is that music is a little more far-reaching that way. Like music, it transcends more than like regions more than
Yeah,
art.
for
Like
sure.
big American artists be big in other places as opposed to just acting.
For sure. But to go back to the point, I would never I don't have any desire to be that famous. I don't want to be crazy wealthy. I've never wanted to be like, I want to be a billionaire. Like that doesn't
So
my
fucking
motivation has
bad.
never been money. I'm not like people who are like, I gotta get to the money. I've never been like I've never been a hustle culture type. If I'm hustling, it's because I love what I'm doing. Not because I'm like, I gotta get this money. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I've been getting to the money. Hey,
Would you
everybody.
want to be a billionaire?
Yeah. If I want to be a billionaire, that's a complicated question. I think no, I have like no desires to want. I'm not like, oh, I'm not out here working to try to want to become a billionaire. But if it happens
You
by
picked your
proxy
position, I'm
because of
proud
how
of you.
successful I am with like touring and and working really hard, like you know what I mean, like like I don't like do people like did Taylor
To be
Swift
clear, no one
did
becomes a
Taylor
billionaire
Swift
because they work
strive to
hard.
be right? Did Taylor Swift strive to be did she strive to be a billionaire, or she just is her music and her touring so successful that she's become a billionaire? You know what I mean?
I think it's a multitude of things, but I just want to be clear that no one becomes a billionaire because they're just working so hard. Working hard is not what makes billionaires. Exploitation is what makes billionaires.
I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the only way to become a billionaire is by working hard. I'm not saying that, but I'm
I just heard
saying
you. I don't think that working hard has anything to do with becoming a billionaire. I think you can work hard, sure, but becoming a billionaire is a completely separate thing just from working hard.
I think that hard work goes to becoming a billionaire. I don't think that you
I
can
don't.
not work hard and become a billionaire.
I think that I think you probably can, but it's about the exploitation. That what I'm saying is the hard work isn't part of what makes you a billionaire. The exploitation of other people, which by the way, all capitalism is exploitation. So even the mom and pop shop exploits their employees. You exploit their work, but the question is, are you making it viable for them as well? What I'm saying is I don't think hard work is part of the factor what makes you a billionaire. You can work hard and become a billionaire, but you're not becoming a billionaire because you worked hard is what I'm saying.
And say that again because I don't think I agree.
You can work hard and be a billionaire, but the hard work is not what makes you a billionaire. Like for example, if
I'm not saying
every
the law.
billionaire,
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, yes, I don't think so. I'm saying that
what about the
to
hard?
become a billionaire,
What do
there
you
is hard work in becoming a billionaire.
what do you think is the hard work? What do you think specifically regards to hard work makes you a billionaire?
I mean, I think it depends on what industry it is, right? To become a billionaire like how Taylor Swift has, I think that comes with hard work in music and working hard and touring and all that stuff. Like I think that there are multiple things that contribute to working hard to become a successful billionaire in music. If you're becoming a successful Mark Zuckerberg, I don't fucking know. Like to be him, there was hard work in doing that, right? To creating the software, to doing a thing, and doing a lot of stuff in computer and technology that I can't even fathom. I'm not saying that it only takes hard work to become a billionaire, but I'm saying to become a billionaire it does take hard work.
And what I'm saying is the hard work actually has nothing to do with being a billionaire. They are literally two completely separate things. That's like saying having a job. To be a billionaire, you probably have to work somewhere, but it's not the job that makes you a billionaire. It is specifically the exploitation of labor to a degree that makes it impossible for the people beneath you to rise up. So Mark Zuckerberg's hard work, the stuff that Mark Zuckerberg did in college, that's not what made him a billionaire. That's not the stuff that made him a billionaire.
But it is,
It was
Bob. It's part of it.
well, listen to me. It's that's not the stuff that makes him a billionaire. Because there's lots of people who come with hard work, who's yada yada, have this stuff. Where Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and the Koch brothers and all these people become billionaires is when they start the greed of buying up other businesses. It's not buying up another business is not hard work. It's just offering someone something they literally cannot say no to. It's purchasing other businesses. It is cornering the market so no one else can get a foothold in possibly at all. That's not necessarily connected to hard work. You can be a billionaire and not work hard. And I don't think every billionaire is necessarily working hard. I don't think that is part of the ingredient of what it takes to be a billionaire. But as long as you're willing to be really, I think one thing that you have to be a billionaire is cutthroat, completely relentless, and a little bit cold-hearted. I think you
And that's
have
why I
to.
disagree.
I think you have to have those three things to be a billionaire.
And that's why I disagree. I think that there is like that's like saying that you can have a cherry pie without the flour or whatever it is to make a fucking crust. Like it is part of the ingredients to make the thing, and I think hard work is part of the ingredients. Now, are what the other things that you talked about? I think those are part of it too, but I don't think that you can get there without hard work. I just don't think so. Now, inheritance is a separate thing, right? If I'm a billionaire and I hand it down to my kid, did my kid necessarily have to work hard? That's a different conversation, different topic. But in order to become a billionaire, I do think hard work is part of the pie to make that, to bake that, to
And
create that thing.
I think that's part of the illusion that they sell us, right? The illusion is that billionaires just work so hard. The illusion is like they were just, my God, the work they were doing was crazy. You wouldn't even believe the amount of work. And I feel like we've been fed this lie so many times that a lot of us believe it. And by the way, I think if someone believes it, that makes sense because we're told over and over and over again how hard these people are working. But when you look at, I was looking at the documentary for Vince McMahon on Netflix recently, and when wrestling started, well, not wrestling started, but when Vince McMahon joined wrestling, it was regional anesthesia. Everyone had a region they were in. They're kind of unspoken region. Like you don't do wrestling. If you are the New England guy, you would never do a wrestling match in Florida. You just don't do it. Kind of like gangs in their territories. You know what I mean? But Vince McMahon was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. And then he did it, he did it. And then when he started making so much money, he just started buying up every other company. He just bought them all. And it's not that he worked so hard. He didn't work hard. He just started engaging in unethical business practices. He started losing his ethics, or I don't know if he ever had them, but he lost the ethics of what they were doing in wrestling. And that's why he became a billionaire. Not because he was working harder than everyone else, but because he disengaged from ethics. And that's why he was able to become a billionaire. Because
But to get to
he
that
forgot about the
point, Bob,
ethics.
I think there is hard work that you're missing in that equation. You're only seeing the small part of it that he went to buy all these things. But I think there are a lot of other hardworking factors that contributed to get into that state and that status to do that. And again, I do agree with you. There is some corruption. There is greed. There are all those things baked into that. But to get to the level to be able to have the money and whatever to do that, I think there is hard work that comes into doing that. I was watching the Martha Stewart documentary the other day, and this is a woman, like, to become a billionaire, like, you watch her story, and this bitch has worked hard, right? She was
Martha Stewart a
on the
billionaire?
stock exchange. Yes, Martha Stewart. I don't know if she still is. Martha Stewart was a
Can you Google
billionaire.
that, Jacob? I don't know. I feel like I would have known that she's a billionaire. She maybe is. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Excuse me. And so she, there are a lot of factors that contributed into her becoming this homemaker and this super successful person. Hard work is a factor in that. It's not the only thing, but I think also sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's there are other factors that come into that. And I'm not discrediting what you're saying that people don't have to do all that stuff to get to billionaire status, but hard work is often part of the equation. It is part of the
Martha
Martha
Stewart
was
was.
a billionaire at like the height of her thing, but she's no longer a billionaire.
Yeah, she
I'm
was.
also seeing this. I don't know if this is, but I don't even know how true this is. Martha Stewart was once the first self-made billionaire. That's not true. The first self-made billionaire in
I don't know
America.
I don't know if she was the first, but in her documentary, they say
I'm just reading what this thing says. That's I'm like, is that true? Because I know there was a black woman who was, what's her name? Hair lady,
Madam C.J. Walker.
Madam J. Walker. But that was also by her time standards. But now her network is about $400 million. Measly. No, I'm kidding.
She was a billionaire at some point.
We'll agree to disagree. I have another question for you. Do you think that you can be an ethical billionaire?
Be an ethical billionaire? To be honest, I haven't really looked into that. If I had to think about it, I think that you do have to step on some toes and you do have to do some bad things to become a billionaire. So maybe not ethical, but I have not really done a lot of mind work or thoughts or dug into besides the Martha Stewart documentary and some other and the social network things I've watched like that. But I don't. It seems like you probably have to do some bad shit.
I'd be interested in your journey on billionaires and how if you decide to go on that road, because I think if you look into it, you'll come back and be like, actually, it's not hard work. But maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be like, no, it is hard work, or hard work is a component.
As a CEO, as a boss, like you're gonna, people are gonna. Not that always going to, but I'm sure some people have worked for Sibling Rivalry that have felt exploited. Some people have worked for Bob the Drag Queen that have felt exploited. Some people work for Monét Exchange that have felt exploited. Like, I don't think that when you lead people, like, because some working relationships sour in a bad way. Some of them don't. Like, it's hard to say when you're not going, someone is not, or what makes someone not feel exploited, or they weren't paid fair, or they didn't, or their value wasn't received.
Everyone's
properly.
being exploited. It's part of how capitalism works. Like you can't be a profitable company if you're not exploiting your workers. You can't. It's just, to what extent are you going to exploit them? That's just what it is.
Yeah. So people have worked for us. I'm sure they felt that way. So by that definition, to become the status we are, or are we ethical in how we run our businesses? You know what I mean?
I didn't say exploiting exploiting is not ethical. You have to exploit.
I'm talking about. I'm kind of talking about being a billionaire and just moving it to what we are now, right? To reach the level of success that we have we been ethical the entire way? So it's not just unethical practices are reserved for billionaires. To become a 10,000-aire, to become a 50,000-aire, to become a 100,000-aire, like, have we exploited people? Have people worked for us and felt exploited and feel like we have been unethical in the way they've been treated? The answer might be yes.
Well, the short answer is everyone is exploited. So yes, you cannot run a business without exploiting people. So yes, we have exploited people. You have to exploit to be a profitable business. Even if you're making $1 extra, you have to exploit. So yes, we've certainly exploited people.
You have to exploit?
Yes, you have to exploit people to have a profitable business. Exploiting
is not exploit.
It has a negative connotation. But if you are taking someone's work and then what they're giving you, you are charging more for it. So if I'm paying you $6 an hour to work, but I know for a fact that what you're working is actually worth $15 an hour, you're being exploited. If I'm paying you $20 an hour to work, but I know for a fact that what you're doing is actually worth $30 an hour, you're being exploited.
Here's the definition of exploit.
Say again?
To make the definition of exploit, to make full use of and derive benefit from a resource.
Yeah, so you have to exploit. You have to exploit your workers. You literally have to. Meaning, so when I say make benefit from, if you're doing $20, if you're doing $50 an hour worth of work, but I'm only paying you $40 an hour, you're being exploited, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But if you are doing $50 an hour work and I'm paying you $10, that's a bad thing.
And again, and some people may have felt like that. Some people, you may have agreed to a rate, whatever, and they're working for us, whatever, and they feel like, well, and they've agreed to think that they agreed to be paid for. Both parties said, yes, this sounds great to me. But at the end of the day, they walk away feeling like it is unethical because they're not being paid their value, or it's not fair to them. Like, then we're not quote unquote ethical in how we're doing our business.
I don't really think that we have. I really don't think we have that problem. There have been times where our workers have exploited us. We've talked about that. There have been times where they made more than we made, and we've had that conversation. So
but that's really not exploiting us.
No, I was being facetious, Monét. But in reality, I genuinely don't think that we have that problem. I genuinely don't think that you and I have that problem. Now, there's a chance that we have employed a company who's exploiting people, so therefore, we are taking part. Like, for example, I don't know. I do not know if they're paying people to make Sibling Rivalry t-shirts. Probably not a fair wage, but they're made stateside. So I don't know. Some of them may stateside. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know where all the Sibling Rivalry merch comes from. I'm assuming it's stateside because we ordered it and it comes pretty quickly.
It was. It's from the States.
Yeah. But that doesn't answer. But so there's a chance that we have hired a company to do stuff for us, and they are exploiting their workers in a way that the workers really, really don't like it. But I really don't think that any of our direct employees are just like,
Our fans are not from the States. Our fans are not from the States. So if we produce these fans that we are selling for higher, blah, 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 and you look back, we are unethical in how we have run our business because we did not do our due diligence to see where the thing that it came from would be very, and make sure that it's being made in an ethical way. So by that metric, we're not ethical. We are now an unethical company.
Well, I don't think that our company is 100% ethical, but I also think it is practically impossible to run a 100% ethical company anywhere. Even like, for example, let's just say, for example, that we own a clothing business and like we make, like, for example, for House of Bob, all of those garments are made here in the United States. So they're made in Los Angeles by hand, which is why they cost so much they cost, because each one is made in Los Angeles by someone being paid a fair wage. Now, that being said, the fabric, I don't know where the fabric's made. I went down to the garment district myself and grabbed that fabric myself. I didn't ask them where was this made. So no, it's not 100% ethical because I don't know where the fabric was made at. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that the goal is necessary. Like when it comes to like your carbon footprint, the goal is not to have a carbon footprint of 0. The goal is to minimize your carbon footprint because you're going to have to get on a plane. You're going to have to get in a car. You're going to have to eat food. You're going to have to turn your lights on. You're going to have to, use air conditioning, that kind of stuff.
So I get the question: Where do you draw the line of ethics? Like, who draws that line? Who decides whether your company is ethical or not?
You draw that billionaire.
So a 999 millionaire is ethical, but once you get that threshold, that 1 million that adds to become a billion, that means that you are now unethical.
No, because what I'm saying is you can be unethical all the way up to a billionaire. You can be unethical all the way up there. What I'm saying is everyone on that side is unethical. Everyone on the billion side is unethical. And there are also people on this side who are unethical too.
But I'm saying, but who decides that?
What do you mean? Well, I mean, it's each person decides what's ethical for them. Each person decides that on their own terms. But what I'm saying is every single person on the billion side is unethical. And there are some people on this side who are also unethical as well. But I don't think there's anyone on that side who's ethical. Not even one.
So when Martha Stewart was a billionaire, she was unethical. But when she's now worth 400 million, now she is ethical?
She's probably still unethical. Again, there are unethical people on this side too. But what I'm saying is everyone on that side is unethical. All of them.
Okay, so let's say you were ethical until you got to 999 million, right? You were ethical until that point.
You wouldn't be ethical that far. You wouldn't be ethical that far.
You're not a billionaire. You're not a billionaire.
I'm going to say it again. There are unethical people on this side, but everyone on the other side is unethical. So if you
I'm saying you're not on the other side yet. You're not on the other side. You're on this side. You're not on the other side.
Unethical people,
there's a gray zone. He's saying there's a gray zone between $1 and $990,000 where there's a mix. There are people who are completely broken unethical, but he's drawing the line saying it becomes black and white specifically here, and there is a gray zone that starts there and goes.
And what I'm saying, I'm the company. I am ethical. I am ethical, going climbing all the way. I am ethical.
You can't get that far and be ethical. You can't make $999,000. You can't make $999,999,999 and be ethical. You can't do it. You can't.
So is the line 999? Is the line 1 billion?
The line is based on what you're doing. Like the line is based on your ethics. The line is based on how you pay your workers, how you treat people. Do they have paid leave? Do they get sick leave? Do they have maternity leave? That's where the line is. But I'm saying is you can't be ethical and make it that far. You can't. Because
and
you would not.
I understand. I'm just trying to find the line there because we're saying
What I'm
1
saying
billion is the
it depends on what you're making, right? So if you're making t-shirts, you could probably become a millionaire and be ethical with t-shirts, but you cannot become a billionaire and ethically sell t-shirts because by the way, you don't cross into unethical once you get to $1 billion. You're unethical all the way up there. On the journey, you are doing unethical stuff. On the journey, it becomes unethical. But but what I'm saying is everyone on that side is indeed unethical. Like for example, here's another thing I can say. It's probably fair to say that everyone who's over 400 pounds is technically obese. Everyone, every single person over 400 pounds is technically obese. That being said, there's someone who's over 200 pounds who's obese, and there's someone over 200 pounds who's not obese. But there will come a point where it's not gray. There will come a point where it's no longer gray.
But that is a false equivalency because there is a measure like there is it's like it's science what causes obesity. There's not science
Ethics
what
have
causes
measures. Sociology is a real thing. Ethics has measures. I'm not a sociologist. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know that. I don't know the measure, but there are measures for it. There are bureaus. There are international laws. There are ethics lawyers. There's measures for it for sure.
I get that, but it's not. There's not a weight that determines if you are. There's not a weight number that determines if you are obese. There are other factors that goes to that. Your height, this and that, the other. So that's what I'm saying.
It's a percentage thing and stuff. What I'm saying is you can't be over 400 pounds and not be obese. It's not possible. It's not possible. You literally can't do it. But you can be over 200 pounds and not be obese.
No, we've seen. I mean, maybe not 400 pounds, but I mean that's like saying you can't be 1,000 pounds. I mean,
exactly. That's how absurd $1 billion is. That's the point. 400 pounds is a pretty big number. $1 billion is even bigger. $1 billion is even crazier. It's even crazier.
But what I'm saying is that 400 pounds, like the percentage of people who are 400 pounds. I mean, I don't know.
I would say the percentage of people over 400 pounds is probably more than the percentage of people who are billionaires. I would venture to say that. I don't know the numbers for sure.
Probably there are more people who are 400 pounds than people
because 400 pounds is like, I've met a few people who are over 400 pounds. I haven't met that many billionaires. I've maybe met one and didn't know it.
You think you met people who are over 400 pounds? Like many?
I know I've met people over 400. Eureka used to be 500 pounds. She said it on TV.
Eureka O'Hara was 500 pounds?
That's what she said on TV. She said she was 500 pounds. I have definitely met multiple people who were over 400 pounds. Multiple.
Yeah, you know a few billionaires. You met them.
Madonna's not a billionaire. Madonna's not a billionaire.
No, the girl that you fell in front of her and you tripped and you spilled your hot chocolate on her dress. that girl.
I spilled it on my own garment, not on hers. Garment. I spilled it on my garment, not hers. Let's be. To quote Obama, let me be clear.
There were some tech billionaires there.
Yeah. So, all the other people Bob talking about, he over there schmoozing, over there knocking drinks with, and those are all Bob's contemporaries. He hanging out with.
To be totally honest, we spent that entire party just talking to Fortune Feimster, but yes.
Likely story. But
also to be fair, I also talk to criminals who are unethical. I have spent time around a lot of people who do things that I don't necessarily agree with. That doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, you're great for what you do. But yes, I do socialize with people who do things I don't agree with.
To quote my grandmother, if you wet the sponge, chances are you wet too.
Well, I didn't wet their sponge. I didn't make them. I mean, I'm sure actually I have contributed to Billionaire because I have an Amazon Prime account. So yeah, I have contributed. So we're all wetting Jeff Bezos'
I don't
sponge.
have an Amazon Prime account.
You're lying. I've been at your house and watched Amazon Prime. You're lying. Continue.
You've been at my house and watched Amazon Prime. What you watch at my house, Amazon Prime?
We was watching
The
you
Boys.
and me and Andy. We're trying to find that show, whatever the show was.
Nigga,
We're trying to
mind
watch
your
it.
business.
And also, aren't you watching House of Villains that you spoiled?
No,
House of Villains is on Peacock.
I've just seen the clips online.
You're lying. We know
I'm
you're
really
an
not
avid
watching
liar. We also know your family are the billionaires of St. Lucia. Bitch, you're not slick. You're not slick.
The billionaires of St. Lucia.
Jackie was running those cell phone towers. Were they ethical?
I wonder if St. Lucia even has billionaires. I wonder.
Oh yeah, you wonder. Okay, you really threw us off the scent there, Monét. You threw us off the trail with that one.
Anyway, well, on that note, it's time to go, bitch. This is a great conversation. I love sparring with you, talking with you about life.
We did spar, but to be honest, it wasn't an even match.
Here we go. Please.
Because you beat me up. You gathered me.
Anyway.
When I used to have long hair, I never actually did the tug, which I regret now.
The tug?
No, I did do the tug. I did the tug.
I don't know what that means.
When you pull your hair up into a knot and then you pull it to make it tighter, you go. And then you go.
You wore that twist wig the other day when we went to Wicked. It was actually really cute.
You mean this one?
Yeah, it looks really cute.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
I no picture there.
I got that wig done because Law Roach inspired me, and I can't find my phone, but I'll make sure I post it to the chat. Otherwise, it'll
Do you
never
glue
see
it?
the day.
Do you glue it down?
No, I just put it on my head. Walked out the door.
Oh, work.
It was Edward Scissorhands, by the way. Edward Scissorhands made that wig for me.
I love Edward Scissorhands. What a great man.
All right, everyone, and this is the picture. And this is Law Roach wearing the wig. Or I don't think it was a wig. I think Law Roach had. Actually, I don't know what Law Roach had. Mine is a wig. I don't know what Law Roach has on his head, but mine is a wig. So there's that. All right,
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see y'all next time.